Hey guys, this is the last dynasty again. This is our heroic Hellfire High Council kill.
So much fun.
This is Ronoth.
And this is Zarilla.
And for our lineup, we had 2 tanks, 3 healers, and 7 DPS.
For the tanks, we brought Gulio on a druid and Kodip on a paladin.
For healers, we had Quakers on a shaman.
We also had Triage on a priest and Ongam on a shaman.
And for our DPS, we had Tronity on a mage, who sucks.
We have Ronoth on a death knight and Zarilla on a hunter.
Razor on a death knight and Lahira on a hunter.
And Kaldavai on a monk and Seven Snipes on a hunter.
And again, we're going to start with our markers. As you can see, we have blue, purple, yellow, and red. Yellow, you're going to have one tank called Blood Boil and Blade Master. Red, you're going to have a tank called Dia. Blue's going to be for Reaps, and then purple, anybody that gets targeted with Fellow Rage is going to run to purple and stand there and take it in the face.
So we're going to start off on Skull. Once he hits about 30%, that's when you want to lust.
So we're splitting the bosses up because if Dia is too close to one of the other 2 bosses, they will become immune to damage.
We're going to wait for Fel Rage here in about 5 seconds. Someone's going to get targeted. Once they get targeted, you are going to run to purple and just let him hit you and enjoy that buff because you get an awesome damage or healing buff depending on who he gets.
And so you can see Triage got targeted, so she's staying on purple. They do give a debuff to the tanks if you stack on the tank, so that's why we usually pull them out of the tank's way. Reaps are going to come off. Reaps, you're just going to take over to blue where there's a marker on the opposite side. Drop it there. You don't want it to be dropped in the raid because, one, that's something people have to watch out for. 2, it does do a lot of damage if you stand in it.
So he's going to hit about 30% here soon. I think our group must have forgot to lust because we do it a little bit late, but 30% is usually a good time to lust.
And you saw the Reaps drop in the corner. For Wailing Horror, Dia's just going to make a big AoE damage. It doesn't hit extremely hard, but you do want to stay kind of grouped up so the healers have an easier time healing you. So you see we pop Lust, as she mentioned, late, but you do want to Lust on Blood Boil to get him down and then start working on Blade Master. Fell Storm's just going to be an AoE that Blade Master does. That one's you don't even really need to worry about. So we're all working on Blade Master. And then we'll leave Dia for last.
Blade Master, he does throw a sword out. Just make sure you dodge that because it does hit you and knock you back, and it does quite a bit of damage.
There will be an arrow at his feet pointing which way it's going. Pretty easy to dodge. Just sidestep, run through him.
Reaps are coming up again. Just, again, make sure you get them to the sides. That way there's not a whole bunch in the middle.
So we sped it up because there's not much there. Here, we're going to actually work on the mirror images in the middle and then the ones over near Dia, so that the ranged and healers can stand in the middle while the melee works on Dia. We're just going to leave the rest of the Blade Masters. We don't need to get them down. We just want to get the ones near Dia so that the melee can stand over there with the tank and not get hit. It makes it a little bit easier and gives a little bit more damage on Dia to push her.
Basically just giving you a little bit more time to get Dia's health down. That way it's easier once we kill Blade Master to go back to Dia, and she won't be up for as long.
But as soon as Blade Master comes back up, the tank wants to take him back to the spot because, again, they both will become immune. So Blade Master's back up, the tank's taking him over there. We're just going to turn in DPS and rinse and repeat. Go through it a little bit more. It is a bunch of rinse and repeat. Blade Master's now dead. So we're going to turn and just work on Dia. Dia, at this point, is basically going to be a tank and spank. Watch out for Reaps.
You're going to want to stack just to make it easier on the healers. Just make sure you get the Reaps out of there. And if a Reap does happen to drop like it did, tanks just move the boss and just go from there.
Reposition around it. The Reap, I don't know if you saw, was Trinity. That shitty mage.
Fucking Tran.
But that's basically the whole fight. We're just down it. Good game. And that's the end. Keep a lookout for Heroic Kilrog.
Thanks, guys.